Hello everybody, ciao a tutti and welcome to Art with ms.B. Today I'm gonna just record a very short video because I'm very excited that I got my box of Shuttle Art Markers. They are 121 markers and the package came with a beautiful marker pad. Now the paper is like 60 liber, 60 pound, which means that it's not very heavy, but on the back is kind of transparent, so it doesn't let the markers bleed through the paper. And I created a design that we're gonna color together so I can try these markers with you. Also, the package came with these nice, beautiful envelopes, and inside they're like the chart that I suggest you if you buy the markers. Even if you have a smaller number of markers, you will have a smaller chart. I suggest you to use it properly so you can test the markers, make sure that they all have ink, they all work, and most of all, making sure that you know how the colors truly show on paper, because sometimes on the lid it might show in a way, but then when you use it on the paper it shows differently. Mostly when it comes to the gray colors, it's important because you will have all the warm gray that has a hint of brown and the show like brown, and then you will go through the green gray, blue gray, and then warm cold black, and then you have a blender. So now I'm gonna switch the camera. We can color this beautiful small design together and we can see how they work. So in case you want to buy them, I bought them on Amazon. They were in offer. You can find them, offers many times. This is not a paid partnership. It's just markers that I love to use for my own art as well as in school, and I wanted to share it with you. So in case you want to keep doing a video, or actually not in case, because you're gonna continue to practice art with me, you're gonna use these markers very often, and I suggest you to buy them because they are convenient, affordable, and very good quality. I'm gonna switch the camera so we can do a little design. Okay, friends, this is the design that I prepared. I set it like with a pencil, then I did Sharpies, and I erased the pencil underneath. Then I selected my colors and I followed this chart. For example, I selected a nice pumpkin yellow as well as a marigold for what concerned the very warm color. Sorry, there you go. And then to contrast, I wanted to include some of the purple, and I selected the orchids as well as kind of a green that will go very well with the vermilion, a couple of two warm and green neutral color, and the blue that will go nicely with the the yellow and the purple, and this beautiful 87 azalea purple that will contrast and kind of reinforce and enhance the other purple. So I'm gonna put this aside and set my markers, and let's see. We are going to start with probably the petal of my flower, beautiful marigold yellow. Nice, they go very, very smoothly on the paper. There is no need for you to press at all. I am very excited. The box just came in today, and as I say, you can find many different packages. This one is the biggest one, or one of the biggest, and it contains 121 colors, and it was a very good price. And the difference between this one and the other one, that with a little less color, I would say that you can still find all the basics and all the main colors that they offer, but definitely this one has at least 3 different green and 3 more blues that I didn't see and I didn't use before. So I'm very excited. For example, one of the blue that I selected, this one is Egyptian's blue. Let me see, it was D74, the color, and I'm very excited to use it. Of course, this is not gonna be a realistic drawing, so I'm gonna be really free and wild as usual in the use of colors. I like to create references with the colors, so have different details in different area of the design, color with the same color. I just feel that so the details will call each other, if we can say that way, and it makes that product at the end, the artwork, more cohesive. At the end, I'm gonna roll over the page and see if the markers bled through. Of this type of paper, although it's very thin, it's very good for markers. We're gonna discover it together. Okay, let's add some green over here. Nice, this is a beautiful, beautiful subtle green that I will use also for this leaf. As you can see, they do not bleed with the black Sharpie, so something to consider if you use other markers. Sometimes instead they would, so it's really up to you. Maybe sometimes you wanna, if you don't use these markers, you wanna do the design with a pencil, color with your markers, and then at the end, once the markers are dry, do your Sharpie outlines and details. But in this case, with these markers, as you can see, you can do the Sharpie right away, even directly without using a pen, because they don't bother the Sharpie. And probably I can tell you that I selected markers, but I will do more. I will grab a few more from the box. This is a beautiful vermilion. Let's see. Nice. Very intense, very bright. I'm gonna use it to color these leaves as well. If you're a young artist, so if you're a child, remember that we don't press hard on the paper at all. On the contrary, you want to be very, very, very delicate. And we're going to use this beautiful vermilion for the top of our biggest mushroom. So we have the details on top of our design with this color, then in the center, and then at the bottom. As I say, it's important to work on colors and coloring technique, and not only the technique itself, so that you go slow and you feel gaps, you don't scribble, and you don't press too hard on the paper. But it's important also to kind of work through the colors and see what colors really work together well, what colors can contrast each other, creating a beautiful visual contrast that will truly engage the viewer. So people looking at your artwork and yourself, this is why it is important to have this chart, to do it, because you can see them all together and you can start to think about it. The complementary would sit on the opposite side of the color wheel, the analogous color, they are regrouped basically in these groups, of course, so they are instead sitting next to each other in a color wheel, so they go together very well in a different way that complementary color go together very well. I would say that when you do something very, very colorful, you want to make sure that you have a little bit of both, some analogous that goes together, but also some nice contrast with complementary colors. Let me see. This one a little pale. I'm gonna do it here actually. Very nice. In this case, you see I'm using two complementary because purple and yellow sit on the opposite side, but they are too specific. This is a very dark and deep yellow, and this is a lavender, actually orchid. So an overall light purple. I'm gonna do this here, I'll pour here. I think I'm gonna do the top of this big mushroom with this nice purple to create this nice connection between these three elements, the smaller mushrooms, the big mushroom, and the flower. Go slow. You can do like tiny and quick strokes like this, or you can go long and slow, whatever you like the most. Of course, if you don't have your shuttle markers, you can use any other alcohol markers that you have available. And if you do not have this chart, you can make yourself one. You don't need to build like the rectangles. You can just test all the colors. To do it faster, you can use that tip in the back because they're dual tip if you have the dual tip markers. Otherwise, you just scribble a little bit of the markers and you test them, right? And you test them according to family. So if you have multiple yellows, you will test them all together next to each other, then multiple green, then multiple blue, then multiple purple, and so on and on. So you already build the family and you can visually see how the colors truly show on paper and truly show like how do they really set next to each other, like in a good way, bad way, whatever is the combination that you wanna use. Now let's introduce this blue, this Egyptian blue. We're gonna do it here a little bit. Nice and intense. Probably I'm gonna do this part with the blue. Let me see, one more here for sure. And probably we'll do this part with the blue. It seems dark and intense, and then when it dries, it lights up a little bit. So far I'm very pleased. The way that they release the ink is not too much, it's not too little. One time I remember that I bought some alcohol markers for school, and of course I wanted to go with the most affordable one, but I don't remember actually the brand. But when we opened the markers, there was so much ink that it was really spread out, and it was awful because it would spoil, right, the paper and even clothes. So you don't want that, definitely. This is pumpkin yellow. Let's bring some brightness and let's brighten this up. I'm gonna put it over here. Very nice, very, very nice. I think I'm gonna do it at the bottom. Let's see, a nice green neutral. Probably we're gonna do this, oopsie, sorry, one over here. Gonna do the bottom, and so I'm gonna take this bigger tip so we can do it faster. I truly love this dual big tip because they allow you to color bigger spaces way faster, and also they don't leave any type of strokes behind, so you have this beautiful. And if you go over one more time, you're gonna just kind of intensify, you see, and create that little caster shadow and a little extra value, sorry, no, caster shadow, what am I saying? Now find a little warm gray, and the project is done. It's nice and I love it. Now let's see if the paper hold the markers properly. Yes, it did. There is no trace whatsoever. And so look at that, you see the back, which is this really little shining surface, and then this is the top surface, just regular paper. As I say, once again, light, but because it's a specific marker pad, it works perfectly. So I'm gonna let you, hopefully, if you have them already, you wanna play with them, and now you know a little more and a little better what you should do with the chart and everything. Or if you wanna order, you can order online, and this is what you will find. And I see you very soon for another design.